Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing the rapid fire book tag. So let's get going immediately with this tag. It was originally created by Girl Reading and it consists of 24 questions, which the OCD side of me, I was like, why is there not 25 questions? I need it to be a bit more even with 25. 24 kind of drives me a little bit nuts. And yeah, the purpose of this tag, it's called the rapid fire book tag for a reason. You're supposed to go through it as quickly as possible. No need to really overly explain yourself. So, question number 1, ebook or physical book? Definitely physical book. I definitely have a preference for that. Ebooks are definitely just not really my thing. Paperback or hardback? Even though I do love and appreciate a good, well bound up hardback, for convenience I definitely prefer paperback. It's easier to carry, easier to hold. Online or in-store shopping? Definitely in-store shopping. I love browsing in the bookstore, looking at books. I love looking at them to make sure that it's a good copy, a good edition, there's no flaws to it. And also I just like picking up books and smelling them. Makes me a weirdo. Oh well. Even though online shopping you can definitely get books for cheaper, it just ruins the experience. You know, there's something really special about in-store shopping when it comes to books. Trilogies or series? Oh, this is a tough one. I ultimately went with series because I think some of my favorite books are definitely a lot of ones that are series more so than trilogies. You know, things that come to mind like Harry Potter and the Chronicles of Narnia and A Song of Ice and Fire and all of the numerous Cassandra Clare books. So yeah, definitely I think series over trilogies. Heroes or villains? Villains, obviously. Anybody who knows me knows that I love and appreciate a good classic villain. Yeah, I just find villains much more entertaining and interesting, and I love analyzing them. That's the big thing. I love analyzing villains. A book you want everyone to read. For this, I've chosen something I've read in recent months, and it's A Teaspoon of Earth and Sea by Dinah Nahari. And this is historical fiction that takes place in 1980s post-revolutionary Iran, and it follows this girl who's growing up in this environment, and she dreams of moving to America and getting a college education. And yes, such a beautiful story, you guys. This is one of my favorite books of the year so far. I immensely enjoyed this, and I would love if more people read this so I can have more people to talk to about it, because this is seriously stunning. The next question, recommend an underrated book. So what I have decided to choose for this question, I started thinking about something like Wicked by Gregory Maguire, and that's about the Wicked Witch of the West, a retelling of Wizard of Oz. So I started thinking about, you know what, I always hear people talk about Wicked, and I don't ever hear people talk about Gregory Maguire's other books. So for this question, I am going to go with Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire, and this is a retelling of Cinderella, but told through the point of view of one of her ugly stepsisters. And yeah, it's like I wish people would read other books by Gregory Maguire, because he just has such a unique talent and skill and style. And yeah, I love Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister just as much as I do Wicked. The last book you finished. Since I'm filming this video at a weird, awkward time, I'm not really quite sure what my last book will be by the time this video goes up, so here's a picture of the last book I finished. And then the same thing for this question. What's the last book you bought? Here's a picture of the last book I bought. Weirdest thing you've ever used for a bookmark. And to be quite honest, I don't think I've ever used anything weird or strange. I've always used bookmarks in my life. Maybe every now and then I've used like random pieces of paper, you know, just as a quick placeholder if I don't have a bookmark. But yeah, I've never used anything strange or weird. What does that even mean? Used books, yes or no? Yeah. Yeah, I have definitely bought a good, healthy portion of used books. My thing about used books, though, when I do buy them, I want to make sure that they don't smell like smoke, for one thing, because I have picked up books in the past and at a used bookstore and they smell like smoke, and it's like, I can't put that in my room. And yeah, they just have to be in an okay condition. Like, it has to have a cover. It can't be torn. So yeah, I'm all for used books as long as they still look good. Top 3 favorite genres. Historical fiction, obviously, probably followed by fantasy, and then I also love a good mystery thriller type of book. Borrow or buy? Definitely buy a book. I definitely prefer that, even though, yeah, borrowing, cheaper, obviously, but still, it's like I don't want that responsibility of borrowing a book and somehow damaging it, so yeah, definitely buy a book. Character or plot? I love both. This is so hard. I would go with character over plot, I think, because in order for a book to be good to me, I think a lot of times it really depends on the characters. If you like the characters, that makes or breaks a book. So I think definitely character over plot in some ways. Long or short books? Definitely probably short. I do love long books. There's nothing wrong with long books, but yeah, they do take so much longer to read, especially if they're verging past 500 pages. So yeah, I do like books that are more around the 300, 400 mark. But yeah, not so short that it's like, okay, this was way too short. You know, if something is under 300 pages, sometimes I don't really even like that. But yeah, still, short books overall, I think. Long or short chapters? Definitely short chapters, because short chapters help you feel like you're moving through a book a bit quicker, you know what I mean? Whereas long chapters, sometimes it can feel like you're moving a bit sluggishly. Name the first 3 books that you can think of. The Book Thief, The Bronze Horseman, and A Game of Thrones. Is that okay? That was too much stress. Books that make you laugh or cry. Austen Lands by Shannon Hale makes me laugh, and The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak makes me cry. Our world or fictional world? Definitely fictional world, you guys. Fictional worlds are just so much more exciting and brand new. You don't know what to expect. Our world is just boring. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Our world is boring. I definitely appreciate a good fictional fantasy world, if you will. Audiobooks? Yes or no? No. I just don't think I have the concentration for an audiobook, to be quite honest. I definitely prefer physically looking at the words on a page. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Hell yeah, I think we all do. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? I think TV adaptations, you guys. There has been some truly remarkable TV shows based off of books. You know, you have things like Shadowhunters or A Game of Thrones. And just imagine those type of things as movies. You know, you're just not going to get that same experience, especially something like Game of Thrones. You guys, can you imagine Game of Thrones done as like a trilogy like Lord of the Rings? I just cannot fathom that at all. So yeah, I'm all for TV adaptations more so than movie adaptations, because TV just gives you a greater freedom, I think. A TV show or movie that you preferred over the book? That was an easy one for me. The first thing I thought of was Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James. This is a sequel to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and there's like this whole murder mystery aspect involving Mr. Wickham. So of course Darcy and Elizabeth have to investigate this murder on their property. And yeah, there was a fantastic mini-series that aired a number of years ago, and it starred Matthew Rhys and Anna Maxwell Martin and Matthew Good and Jenna Coleman. I love that miniseries, and I picked up the book, and I was just so disappointed with this book. This book was nothing like that miniseries. I did not enjoy it by any means. I was vastly disappointed. So yeah, definitely the miniseries over this book. And the very last question, series or standalone? Earlier, the trilogies or series, I mentioned I like series, but for this question, series or standalone, I think I appreciate a good standalone book, you know, because there's so many trilogies and series out there on the market right now, and it can be quite overwhelming and hard to keep up with all of the series. So yeah, I always like when there is a standalone book, because it's like, okay, good, I don't have to worry about reading another one. And I think there's something more powerful about a standalone, you know, showcasing an author's talent that they can just write one book, you know, have a complete story from start to finish, and it doesn't require multiple books. Okay, so that's it for this tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. As for tagging some people, if you have not done this tag, then I tag you. And if you happen to do it, send it my way and I'll try to watch it. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.